What's going on, everybody? Kalipus Tech here, coming back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks for the Nokia G400 5G to help you get more comfortable using it. Now, before we go any further, as always, I do want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about this phone, I will be linking to several other videos about it in the description, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some of my favorite smartphone accessories. But with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to show you is how to change your wallpaper. The first thing we're going to do is go to settings, which you can do one of two ways. The first way you can get to your settings is by using the settings app itself. To do this, what you're going to do is swipe up like this, and this right here is what's called your app drawer, which is basically going to show you all the apps on your phone. So for me, the settings app is right here, and if you want to make it a little bit more convenient to access, you can also add it to your home screen. To do this, press and hold on the app itself, drag it like this, and as you can see, you can place it wherever you want. Now the other way you can get to your settings is by pulling down the shade like this. From here, pull this down one more time. And this icon right here is going to take you right to the settings. So back to changing your wallpaper. Once you're in the settings, go to the wallpaper and style section. So right here. From here, go to change wallpaper. In here, you can choose from on-device wallpapers, live wallpapers, and your own photos. So we're going to go to on-device wallpapers. From here, choose a wallpaper. It's going to give you a preview for your home screen and your lock screen. It's going to give you a preview for your home screen, your lock screen. When it looks the way you want it, hit this check mark. And from here, you can set it to your home screen, lock screen, or both. And now as you can see, the wallpaper has been changed. Now that was easy enough, but I'm going to show you another way to change your wallpaper that's a little bit more convenient. And this is also going to give you access to a bunch of other home screen settings. So what you can do is press and hold your finger on any blank spot on your home screen like this. And as you can see, this menu is going to show up. From here, you can change your wallpaper, manage your widgets, and access some other home screen settings. Now I'm going to show you how to manage which apps can send you notifications. Now this is an especially important thing to do if you have a lot of apps, because knowing how most apps are nowadays, whether they're actually important or not, they're going to be sending you tons of notifications. And this not only gets annoying, but getting a bunch of random notifications also makes it a lot easier to miss something important. So I'm going to show you how to make sure you only get notifications from apps you care about. So to do this, what you're going to do is go to settings. From here, go to notifications, and from this menu, go to app settings. So by default, it's basically going to show you the most recent apps that have actually sent you notifications. But if you want to see everything, what you can do is hit this drop down and go to all apps. This is going to show you all the apps on your phone. So if you get something like Candy Crush, for example, I know some point it's going to send me some sort of notification that I don't care about. So what I'm going to do is toggle it off. And when you do this, you're no longer going to get notifications from that app. So definitely a real nice thing to do. But keep in mind, there are certain things like this, for example. I don't even know what this is. But some things do have notifications you can't technically turn off. But in my experience, I haven't even gotten one of them. It's really just a couple system-related apps that do this. Otherwise, pretty much everything else, including any app you download yourself, can be disabled in this menu. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your system navigation. Now, you've probably noticed by now, with this phone, instead of 3 buttons at the bottom, we got this one line here. And this is what's called gesture navigation. Now, in case you're not too familiar with it, because I know a lot of Android phones still have the buttons by default, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how it works. So if you're on an app and you want to go to your home screen, swipe up like this. To go to your recent apps, drag your finger partially up. And if you're doing something and you want to go back, swipe from the side like this. And there we go. So as you can see, it's pretty simple, definitely real easy to use, but I know a lot of people actually really prefer the buttons. So I'm going to show you how to switch it back. So first things first, we're going to go to settings. From here, go to System, which is going to be at the bottom, so right here. From this menu, go to Gestures. And from here, go to System Navigation. So as you can see, again, by default, this phone will be on gesture navigation, but if you want to use the buttons, select button navigation. And as you can see, we got the normal 3 buttons back. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot with the Nokia G400 5G. Now there are a few different ways to do this, so first things first, the basic way to take a screenshot with this phone is pretty much like every other phone. What you're going to want to do is press the power key and the volume down key at the same time, and keep in mind you're just pressing the buttons, you don't actually have to hold them, so like this. And there we go. As you can see, the toolbar shows up. Again, pretty much like every other Android phone. Now the other way you can take a screenshot is by pulling down the shade like this, one more time, go to the second page, and tap on this box right here. And there we go, that also took a screenshot. Now the third way you can take a screenshot is by going to your recent apps, tap on the screenshot button right here, and as you can see, it's going to take a screenshot of whatever app you're hovering over. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to use dark mode. Now there's a main way to do this, and then there's a shortcut, so I'm going to show you both. So the main way to use dark mode is by going to your settings. From here, go to display, and from here, where it says dark theme, turn it on. And now, as you can see, the phone is in dark mode. The other thing you can do is if you go here, From the actual dark theme menu, you can schedule it so you can have it turn on from sunset to sunrise or set a custom time. Now that was easy enough, but like I said, there is a shortcut, so let me show you how to use it. So what you're gonna do is pull down the shade twice. From here, dark theme is gonna be in this menu, but for me at least, it's not there by default, and I feel like it's gonna be the same for everyone. So to add dark theme to this menu, what you're gonna do is hit this pencil icon right here. And this is going to show you, first of all, what you already have on this menu in this section. And under this, it's going to show you everything you can add. So as you can see, dark theme is right here. So to add it to the menu, press and hold, drag it up to the other side. And now that we've done that, hit back. And as you can see, dark theme is now in this menu. So again, from the home screen, now that we've added dark mode to that menu, once again, pull down the shade twice. Go to the second page where we added it. And as you can see, dark mode is right here, so if we tap on this, it's going to turn on, and now as you can see here, the phone is once again in dark mode. Now we're going to take a look at the sound menu. To get to this, go to settings. From here, go to sound. And the first thing we got here is a few different volumes. So at the top, we got media volume. So if you're watching a video, playing a game, listening to music, stuff like that. Call volume, so the earpiece when you're talking on the phone. Ring and notification volume, pretty self-explanatory. And alarm volume. Under this, we got do not disturb. But if you do want to turn on do not disturb, there is a much quicker way to do it. All you have to do, no matter what you're doing on your phone, is pull down that one menu. 1, 2, and from here, do not disturb is right here. Under that, we got the phone ringtone. So if we go here, as you can see, we got the default ringtone. You can choose between any of these, and you can also add your own. Vibrate for calls. So keep in mind, this is only for when you're not in vibrate mode, because after all, if you're in vibrate mode, obviously the phone is gonna vibrate whenever you get a call. But if you want it to vibrate and make sound at the same time, what you're gonna do is go here. By default, it is gonna be set to never vibrate, but you can also set it to always vibrate, or you can have it do kind of a hybrid. Under this, we got the notification sound, alarm sound. These are pretty much the same thing as a ringtone. If you go to one of them, they have their default, as well as several others to choose from, and you can always add your own. And then finally, at the very bottom, we got a couple system sounds, dial pad tones, screen locking sounds, charging and vibration, touch sounds, which you've probably heard throughout this video, and touch vibration. So by default, everything is going to be on, but of course, if you want to turn any of these off, you always can. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. So if you're ever doing something like maybe reading a book, watching a longer movie, something like that, and you want to make sure your phone doesn't fall asleep in the middle of it, this is definitely a nice thing to know about. So to change your screen timeout time, go to your settings. From here, go to display. And from here, go to where it says screen timeout. As you can see, I have mine set to 30 minutes. By default, I think it's 1 or 2, something like that. And you can also set it as short as 15 seconds. Now there's no right answer here. It's really gonna depend on what you're doing with your phone. Because if you're not doing stuff like watching videos, reading, that kind of thing, you're probably gonna want it to be pretty short. Because keep in mind, with a really long screen timeout time, if you forget to lock your phone, it is gonna drain the battery pretty fast. But on the other hand, again, if you're consuming a lot of content, maybe you're doing a lot of reading, for example, in that kind of situation, I could definitely see having it a little bit longer. Because then, of course, you're not gonna wanna keep tapping your screen to keep it awake. So definitely play around with it and see which time works best for you, because depending on what you're doing with your phone, it is going to be a little different for everyone. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen lock. Now for this phone, I currently have the default, which is a pin, and I also have the fingerprint scanner, but I'm going to show you how to customize it. So what you're going to do, of course, is go to settings. From here, go to security. So right here. From this menu, to change your screen lock, go to where it says screen lock. It's going to have you enter your current PIN, and once you do this, you can choose between none, swipe, pattern, PIN, and password. None and swipe are basically no security at all. Pattern is a little bit old-fashioned, but it's kind of cool at least. PIN is the industry standard, and if you want really high security, you can always do a password. In addition to this, if we go back to the main security menu, from here, right under screen lock, you can also set up the fingerprint scanner and face unlock here. Now I'm going to show you a few ways to get to your power menu. Now on most phones, when you press and hold your power key, it's instantly going to bring up your power menu, and that's pretty much it. But nowadays, with a lot of the more mid-range and higher end phones, including this phone, when you press and hold the power button, it's going to open the assistant instead. Now you can technically get to the power menu here, but I'm going to show you how to disable the assistant if you never use it. So from here, what you're going to do is go to settings. From this menu, go to system. And from here, go to gestures. And in the gesture menu, where it says press and hold power button, go here. And again, by default, this is going to turn on the assistant, but if you don't want to use it, toggle it off. And now, when you press and hold the power key, it's just going to open the power menu. And one final way you can do this is by pulling down your shade like this. One more time. And right here, we got yet another way to get to the power menu. But this concludes my beginner's guide to the Nokia G400 5G. Again, if you want to learn more about this phone, I will be linking to several other videos about it in the description, as well as some information about pricing, availability, and some of my favorite smartphone accessories. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow Khalipa's Tech on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, I will see you in the next video.